Great minds think alike, right? I um I say that because yesterday or the day before I read an article and I shared it on the flipping forum. The article is written by Kathy Cruz, who was one of our members here at the car flipping forum. And I know Kathy is a great mind, so I'm going to tag my thoughts along with hers, and that gives me that great minds thing. Um, Kathy's article talked about the value of a customer, and in her words, a customer for some of her dealerships was worth well over $500,000 just for one customer, and that's pretty exciting. I don't believe that's true with my customers, as much as I love them. Uh, the fact is, I don't sell, $40,000 cars, so I'm not going to sell them $500,000 worth of cars over their lifetime. They're not going to live that long. But that doesn't mean I don't value repeat customers, because man, that is an awesome thing. It really is. And for those of you who are just getting started in the car business, flipping business, and frankly, I'm just getting started at it compared to a lot of you. But for those of us, I should say, who are relatively new to the car business, I've been doing it for about 15 years, I guess, but on a small scale compared to Kathy and the people that she deals with. Um, but it's an exciting thing when somebody comes back and buys another vehicle from you and another vehicle from you, or sells another vehicle. And in our side of things, when they say, hey, I got another car I got to get rid of, and they call you again because you treated them right the first time. That's I mean, I'm not going to get into Kathy's a genius when it comes to marketing, and you can read her article. I posted it on the car flipping forum. You can read it there. You can go to her website, which I'll put in the notes below, since I'm crediting her for popping this in my head. Um, but you can go to her website and then learn more about the science behind this that she talked about. But I, in my simple mind, it's all about the golden rule, just treating people the way you would want to be treated. And it just happens that this week I have a couple examples of that, and I wanted to share them with you. Um, Welcome to the Flipping Genius podcast. By the way, we have over 170 episodes online, and I guess somewhere along the way I started to have a little bit more fun, so we've gotten out of the pattern of bouncing them on here every Wednesday morning at 6 a.m. I apologize to you who are expecting a new episode every time. And as we get out of the summer and the ability to play golf and pickleball and do other fun things, I may get back into that. But for right now, you get this one. And so the issues, the opportunities that came up this week that were because of something I had done in the past are intriguing. And then the opportunity to create that same thing again, it was intriguing because it all kind of made a lot of sense to me this morning when I woke up at about 4:15 and started thinking about what I should talk to you about. So I'm gonna go to the appointment that I have today. We've got a young man that called yesterday and said, hey, I bought a car from you last year, and I'm happy with the car, but the air conditioning broke, and I got to get a car with air conditioning because my girlfriend's pregnant. Um, simple story. My first gut instinct was to say why not just get the air conditioner fixed? Take it over to Dennis, he'll fix it. Now I'm not offering to pay that. I sell cheap cars, and cheap cars have broken air conditioners sometimes. Sometimes they have broken air conditioners when they leave my lot, but they always know that. I always tell them. This one did not. This was a real pretty little car. He got a good deal on it. Um, it was a good deal for me at the time. I made money. He was happy. One of the prettiest cars I've probably ever sold. Um, but the AC's out, and he doesn't have any cash in his pocket to fix it. That's just simple as that. So he's wondering if he can trade for another vehicle I have that has air conditioning that is not quite as pretty, but maybe better mechanically. And the first person he thought of calling was me. Uh, now I don't know if it's the first person. He might have called 15 people before me, but I don't think so. I don't think so. And uh, I know that's because I took care of him the first time. I treated him with respect. I worked around a situation he had at the time and allowed him to. I paid his taxes and title fees out of the total purchase. I gave him a deal that was better than the deal he bargained for, and that may sound insane, but I'll tell you how that works in just a second. But the point being is, at the end of the day, this young man called me, and today when we meet, there's a good chance we're going to swap cars. It'll be a zero cash swap, um, because he doesn't have any cash. I'll probably even drive it over and put gas in it for him, if he decides to do this, because I know that's the situation he's in. He doesn't have any cash. He needs a vehicle with air conditioning, and he needs to be able to get back and forth to work and keep his girlfriend happy. So I'll try to take care of that for him if we can. And I'll have a better vehicle to sell. It'll work out better for me in the long run. I'll make more money off, assuming that the vehicle still, looks like it did when he bought it. I'll make more money off that car than I will off the one I trade him, and I'll take care of him again, and that's going to lead to more business down the road. And that's I believe what Kathy was talking about. Take care of those people, and they're going to take care of you, because it's not just him. It's not just this young man that's going to come back to do business with me again and give me another opportunity to profit, frankly. But it's all the people that he sends my way. When his friend that he works with, or his friend that he goes to church with, or his friend that's on his softball team or whatever, says, hey, do you know of anybody that's got a decent car? Do you know anybody do you know of anybody that'll buy this car from me? He's going to think of me. And that's going to lead to more business. And it's because I took care of him the first time. And I'm not going to go into a zillion different examples of this, although I couldn't get to a zillion, but I could get quite a few. But here's another one, just happened exactly this week. It was another vehicle, a similar situation, a man who was in a situation where he needed a vehicle really bad. He did not have a way to work other than his friend giving him a ride, and it worked out up until recently because his friend just lived down the street. But due to another situation, he was moving from his house to a new house that was about 5-10 miles away or something, and his friend could no longer just pick him up and take him to work, so he had to get a vehicle post haste that he could jump in and drive to work so he could get to work. And it had to be a dependable vehicle, and he had about, I think he had $3,000 that he had to spend. That was it. I think initially he told me he had 25, and I told him I really needed to get 35 for the vehicle we were talking about. And he came out and looked at it. I recognized the vehicle had a couple little issues. Starts up and runs and should be solid, but there's a couple things that need to be repaired, and they were repairs that this man could make himself. So we talked, he drove it, he liked it, and then he came back and said, will you take 3 for it? 3,000. That's the kind of cars I sell, you know that. And my response is the response that I've made before. I made it to the other young man I talked about before. My response was to give him a better deal than the one he was bargaining for, and it kind of throws people off a little bit. But see, I know what I can sell a vehicle for, and I know that I had other conversations with other potential buyers for this same vehicle, and in those other conversations, I had come up with a price, a bottom dollar price of $2,900. And I had mentioned that 29 to several people over the phone, and in person. And in my mind, that was my number. That was the number I was going to sell that vehicle for. If he'd offered me 39, I don't know if I could have done this, but he offered me 3. And I said, I'll take 29. And he looked at me like I was crazy and said, he didn't say anything. He didn't, he didn't have to say anything. And then I followed up with, I said, I'll do it for 29, and that'll include your tax and title, because I did the title work, and you'll have all your sales tax paid for. Now, I want to preface that by reminding all of you, I live in Alabama. I work in Alabama. Our dealership's in Alabama, and Alabama has the lowest sales tax in the country on vehicles. We have a 2% state sales tax, which I know is significantly lower than many states, including the state right next to me, Tennessee. I think has a 9% sales tax or something like that, quite a bit. So you might not be quite as generous with your sales tax offers as I am. I'm still giving money away, but not quite as much as you would be if you did the same thing. But my point being is this man, he said, okay, I'll take it right away, and like I better jump on this before this fool comes to his senses. But I had my senses about me. I knew what I was doing, and my profit margin was above where I wanted to be, above where I needed to be. And now, obviously, I must have bought that vehicle, right? Because how can you sell a vehicle for 29, include sales tax and title, and still make money? Well, you bought it right, because you make your money when you buy it. We've said that a zillion times. I've seen other people repeat it on the car flipping forum. That's absolutely true. And I bought that vehicle right. I walked away with over $1,400 profit on it, after overhead, after repairs, after everything. So it was a win-win, no doubt. And he is very pleased with the deal that he made. He's very pleased with the vehicle that he got, because nobody else would sell him that vehicle for that price. That's why he was there. And then I made a deal with him that was even better than the one he offered. Now, a lot of people may think I'm just crazy, because I gave $100 away plus whatever the tax was. So, $160 or something like that. And I did. It was really true. And I suppose you could say, couldn't you have spent that money on advertising? Couldn't you have just put it in your pocket? Wouldn't he come back to you anyway because the vehicle was good? Those things could be true. I don't spend a long time thinking about that. I gotta go with my gut, and my gut says I did the right thing. I felt really good about it after he left. Felt good about it when I told my wife about it when I got home. I feel good right now when I'm telling you about it. I feel like I did the right thing. If I never see him again, I did the right thing. But I won't be surprised at all if I see him again in 6 months, in 6 years, or sometime in between then. And I won't be surprised at all if he sends me customers, if he sends me referrals. I didn't do it to buy that. I did it because it seemed like the right thing to do. I have done that same exact thing probably 5 times this year, which may not sound like a lot to you, but I don't sell that many cars. So 5 times is a pretty significant number. So basically, treat people right and they will come back. It's happened over and over again on both sides of the deal. People call me to sell me another vehicle. They refer me to somebody who wants to buy a vehicle. They refer me to somebody who wants to sell their vehicle, and they come back and buy another vehicle from me. And every single time, it is a good feeling. I'm able to go into my files, and some of you may know or may not know that I have memory issues due to some things that in my past with regards to, well, we're not real sure. I always think it's football and the knocks in the head I took, but whatever it is, it's really nice to deal with the same people sometimes for me, because I've got some memory of them, and I can pull their files up and know what we're dealing with, and it's we're not on uncharted ground. So that's something I like too. But I just enjoy being able to deal with people who already have a good impression of me. That's kind of a cool thing when you're dealing with used cars, and I've enjoyed that. So that's really the what I wanted to say today. Treat people right, and they'll treat you right. They'll come back, and you'll be able to expand your profitability from that one name, that one file. In my case, no, despite Kathy's projections, I'm not gonna produce over $500,000 in revenue from each repeat customer. I won't, but you might. You may be flipping something a lot nicer than what I flip. And this principle, this concept works no matter where you're at. And I've seen, as I've talked to people, the last few episodes where we've done a conversation or interview, I've heard our members talk about this. And just recently, one of my other favorite mentors, Pat Flynn, who you may find on the internet, and I've learned a lot from Pat, talked about the most important thing that he learned about business is to serve others, serve others first. And I think, that I read it. I just read it that this week too. And I've read it before, but from Pat, because he said it before, and it has made an impact. And I've seen how Pat has done this. Pat has done tons of free things for me and for other people online to educate us. And so that concept is the same thing, to do what's right for others, treat people the way you would want to be treated, that golden rule. So think about that. How can you serve others, and with your business, and as you do that, you'll recognize it's going to come back to you. And with that in mind, and Flipping Genius in mind, I want to invite you to if you're not a member already of the Car Flipping Forum, it's free to join. Please go to Facebook groups, just type in Flipping Genius, you'll find the group there. It's free to join, and we've got close to 1,000 members now that are sharing their ideas, sharing their input, answering questions, and helping each other. I try to do it too, but I'm delighted to see a lot of you who are already members jumping in there and trying to help each other and trying to share your stories. Talking about sharing stories, I'd love to share more stories from the folks on the forum. If you're interested in sharing your message and what's happening with you, reach out to me. You can write me at flippingquestions@gmail.com. You can write me from the forum. You can send me a message right here if you're watching YouTube, or wherever you're watching. You can message me. You can go to our website, flippinggenius.com, 1G, and message me and tell me what you'd like to share. If you want to talk about a problem you've had, if you want to talk about a success story you've had, if you want to talk about your business in general, if you want to talk about what kind of flipping you do, whatever, if you've got something that you'd like to share that you think would benefit other listeners, other viewers, I would love to be able to share that with the folks, because that's really the number one goal of Flipping Genius, has always been to help our listeners make more money, and now our viewers too. I say viewers in case you're not aware, we have a YouTube channel, and all of our newest episodes, the last 120 of them or something like that, are all available in video and audio form. So you can go to the Flipping Genius YouTube channel, and please do, and please subscribe to the YouTube channel. Most of you probably know that YouTube can generate revenue, but it doesn't do that until you get to 1,000 subscribers, and we're not there yet. I would love to get there. We put a lot of effort into Flipping Genius, and just to be frank, it would be nice if a couple dollars came back to yours truly, so I could play more golf and more pickleball. And so please subscribe to the podcast wherever you're listening. Save us as a favorite. Listen to all the episodes and share it with a friend. Please subscribe to the Flipping Genius YouTube channel and watch the videos. I think they can help you make more money. That's really what we do. And if there's something you'd like to learn more about, write to me, and also ask questions on the forum. The other folks on there will also answer your questions and help you. It's a good bunch, it really is. I'm proud with what we've done. We're nowhere near where we can grow to, though. So there's tons that we can do, and I'll be keeping my eyes and ears open to listen to what you ask for and do my best to provide it If you'd like to be a flipping team member, a flipping champion, a flipping partner, check us out online at flippinggenius.com and check out what we offer there. We'd love to be directly involved with you and help you increase your bottom line. I believe that we can if you give us that opportunity. Hey, I think that's it for this week, and I hope that you guys are having a fantastic day, a fantastic summer. Business is just booming, and I look forward to hearing from all of you, each and every one of you. Let's work together. Let's make some money. Let's all become flipping geniuses.